بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome my dear students of Riyadh Salihin Model Schools to a new lesson of your Mega Goal 5 Students Book, page 64 and 65, Form, Meaning and Function. These pages will be our lesson today, pages 64 and 65, Form, Meaning and Function. In today's lesson, my dear students, we are going to talk about comparatives and superlatives. 11. Form, meaning and function. Comparative and superlative forms of adjectives. We have two kinds of adjectives, my dear students. One syllable adjectives and more than one syllable adjective. Let's get started with the comparative. We use more or less plus adjective or adjective plus er to make the comparative. Detective stories are more or less popular than stories about space travel. Goldfish are smaller than clownfish. The first adjective here is popular. It is more than one syllable, so we used more or less before it. As for the adjective small, we used er after the adjective as it is a one syllable adjective. Sometimes, my dear students, we use words such as a little, slightly, much, a lot, considerably, definitely, and certainly to express how much something differs or to add emphasis. Children's TV films are considerably better than they used to be. When we have two equal adjectives, we use as plus adjective plus as to compare things that are equal or similar. Finding Nemo is as good as Toy Story. Both of them are good. Use not as plus adjective plus as to compare things that are different. They are not the same or similar, or they are not equal. Finding Nemo and Toy Story are good TV films, but not as good as The Lion King. We use the comparative to describe two actions. The second action happens as a result of the first one. The more I hear about the Giza pyramids, the more I want to know. The harder he works at speaking English, the better he becomes. We can also say that the harder you study, the higher marks you get. Now let's talk about one-syllable adjectives. When we compare two things with one-syllable adjectives, we add adjective plus er. And we use the word than after them. Goldfish are smaller than clownfish. Tabuk is colder than Riyadh. The cheetah is faster than the lion. Sami is taller than Ali. English is easier than Arabic. We usually add er and est to one-syllable words to make superlatives and comparatives. If an adjective ends in e, we add r or st. If an adjective ends in a vowel and a consonant, we double the consonant. If an adjective ends in a consonant and y, change y to I and add er or est. We have here some examples: happy, happier, happiest, silly, old, long, nice, large, big, and fat. We have, my dear students, some irregular adjectives like good, bad, much, far, little. We cannot add er or est to these adjectives. As for good, we say better than, the best. As for bad, we say worse than or the worst. much more, the most, far, further, farther, furthest, and farthest, little, less, and least. Now I would like you, my dear students, to complete these sentences with a comparative. Comparatives for long adjectives, adjectives that consist of more than one syllable. We use certain words to make comparatives of long adjectives. We use the word more to make the comparative form. Example, Mary is more polite than Cindy. Tom is more helpful than Peter. Candy is more hardworking than Maggie. Joe is more good-looking than Tom. All these adjectives are two-syllable or three-syllable adjectives or more. Superlatives of long adjectives, we use the word the and most before the long adjective to make the superlative form. The melon is the most expensive fruit. Expensive is a long adjective. It consists of more than two syllables, so we add the most before it. And we can say the least as well for mango. When we have two equal adjectives, we use as adjective and as. As adjective and as is used to compare people, places, events, or things when there is no difference. It is used to compare things that are of similar proportion. These things or places are to an extent equal. Someone is as intelligent as Mark. My father just as handsome as his son. My hair is not quite as fair as my sister's hair. The weather this winter is as bad as last year. He is as tall as his sister. Mark is as optimistic as Samuel. Now, my dear students, we have revised that we use the before a comparative to describe two actions. The second action happens as a result of the first one. The more I hear about Giza pyramids, the more I want to know. The harder he works at speaking English, the better he becomes. The superlative, we use the superlative to say that or to state that something is very different from the others and it's quite unique. The Nobel Prize is the most prestigious award a scientist can win. The company director agreed that it was the least attractive offer, but he was obliged to take it. We can use expressions by far to add emphasis. The Lion King is by far the best TV film. Now, my dear students, I would like you to make comparative and superlative structures of these adjectives to describe these animals. We have here some animals: camel, cat, cheetah, donkey, eagle, elephant, goldfish, horse, ostrich, snake, tiger, and lion. You can use these adjectives: long, tall, fast, big, short, dangerous, small, and slow. Thank you, my dear students, for joining me by Mr. Muhammad Farouk.